Take your jury seat as we're about to begin Terry with the Words Cross-Examination Series. The entire Bible is legalistic in nature. As witnesses with testimony, we, the Terrys, are put on the stand and cross-examined, answering your questions, whether you are a non-believer, a new believer, or a member of the body needing clarification. There's no time to waste. Someone's life is at stake. So let's get into today's question. The question this week is, why wasn't Cain's offer accepted? Well, Cain's offering was not accepted for a couple reasons, I believe. And I want to talk about each of them. So first, what we need to realize is that Abel was a keeper of the flock, and Cain was a tiller of the ground. So right off the bat, we see that Abel, taking care of sheep, most likely 99.9% probability, brought a lamb as an offering, and this is a foreshadow of Christ's redemption for us. So in this case, we can see that Abel offered a lamb, which is what we see throughout the entire Bible, right? Abram goes with Isaac, and a lamb is brought in its place, and Jesus is the lamb that was slain from before the foundation of the world and redeems us back to the Father, right? So the Messiah redeems us as the lamb. He was the Passover lamb, and it is blood that redeems us, his blood. So in Cain's instance, we can see that this is representing the works of man trying to redeem himself with his own power, being his own God. And he didn't send his best. We know that. He probably did not send his first fruit. He didn't send his best. He didn't send his first. He just brought an offering out of the field. It's also possible that this was the Passover, being the first feast of the year, and Abel brought the lamb, but Cain, we know pride is a terrible sin. It brings the fall of Satan, the enemy. So it's possible that Cain may have been too proud to purchase a lamb from Abel, and therefore he brought something out of the field. And that's not what would have been required on the Passover, and therefore his offering also would not have been accepted. Again, atonement would come through blood, not fruit. It comes from the life that's in his blood, Jesus being the sacrificial lamb for us. There's no remission of sins without it. This also represents a fork in the road, just like a serpent has a forked tongue. A fork in the road happens here, right? The Lord tells him that sin will be at the door. This is what he says to Cain. And this is a split of division between the seeds we see here. And one road is going straight to Babylon. The beast system and all the mystery religions come out of this, what Cain did. Um, so again, Abel would have offered a lamb from his flock, representing and foreshadowing Messiah, redemption of the blood to redeem sin, redemption of sin, which we cannot have without it. And it would have been a lamb without blemish, so it would have been the best. And you can see that Abel's heart in this then was to please his father, right? Where Cain's heart really just, it wasn't in it. It was just a duty to him. It was just work. Again, works. I'm going to accomplish this on my own, not in the way that the Father tells me to do it. I'm going to go my own way and I'm going to do my own thing. But that's not good enough. We need to obey the commandments. And again, if this was the Passover, which it looks like it probably was, um, we see Abel being faithful to God, bringing what was required of him, and Adam and Eve would have been given the law before Moses. I mean, Noah knew it. He sacrificed after the flood, so he knew the laws. So it's not like the laws, even though they were written down at Moses' time and given to the people, weren't given to Adam and Eve. It's more than likely, again, that they were, and they knew what the laws and the requirements were. Adam and Eve did, and so Cain and Abel would have, just like Noah and his family did. And that is why Cain's offering was not accepted. It wasn't his best. It wasn't the first fruit. It wasn't without blemish. It was not based on what was required of him. It was based on his works, doing his own thing, on his own power, trying to redeem himself through his own works, where Abel was faithful, obeyed the laws and commandments, and foreshadowed the Messiah, bringing a lamb without blemish.